Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Learn This Deck with the Dreaming Way Tarot. And today we are going to look at the nines. Now, according to the numerology thing that this whole kind of deck is, talking about, nine is the stage of the third completion. So when we had three, we had the first completion, and at six, we had the second stage of completion, and finally at 9 we have the numerology point of view third completion. So we have 3, 6 and 9. So that's the three different stages where things slowly arrive at some sort of an end or concluding sort of point. So 9, of course, is the fulfillment or the satisfaction of the entire number journey, and that is therefore the stage where there's a final sort of completion. Now this is also very interesting because at 10 he goes on to say it's an excess. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, but here's where so you will see, especially let's see how this sort of manifests in all the four suits, where the journey from the ace has finally reached its sort of final completion stage at 9. So let's start with the wands, which is all fire and passion and all of that. And here we see this young man sitting there on a tree stump. He's got 8 wands sort of lined up in a way like a fence, and he's sitting there and he's leaning his chin on the ninth wand. Now this picture is again pretty typical and very very similar to the Rider-Waite imagery, except for like the bandage on the head bit. But he looks, if you check out his expression, he looks pretty contemplative. He looks like he is thinking about something, he's worrying about something. But at the same time, those 9 wands, I'm sorry, the 8 wands in the background is something that does make me wonder, why has he stuck them there? Like it's like a fence or a border. So that's what sort of brought these meanings up for me, that he's now being guarded after all kinds of good and bad experiences, or he's distancing himself from the other things. Because see, now this is the stage of final completion, so he's gone through that whole beginning at the ace, where he's got that passionate sort of idea, and he's gone through the ups and downs of the entire suit, come to this point where he has realized his ideas, or his ideas are very well set in motion, and his passion and his things are giving him the rewards. But now he is in that sort of contemplating stage. Now he can't just be reckless about it. That's, I think, the lesson or the wisdom that he's gained, is he's not going to be reckless about it the next time round. So he's being very careful and he's resting. He's taking a break. He's like, okay, you know what? Wow, I've done a whole lot of stuff. Maybe I can take a break now. So he's there in the 9 of Wands, feeling all these different things. But when you take that card and you reverse it, all those wands are going to come on, from the ground. They're just going to fall out, and he's probably going to fall down from that tree stump. So it's not going to be such a peaceful scenario relatively there with the 9 of Wands reversed. So it could also mean that with all those wands in the background, they're coming down, he's letting down his guard, and he's being a little bit more open. But that also can mean that he's not being careful. So you have to really really listen to your intuition and maybe look at the surrounding cards in the spread to see which aspect of the interpretation this is talking about. This also shows that he's not able to rest. So even though he's accomplished something, that's why it's a 9 there, he has come pretty close to finally accomplishing something there, but he's not able to rest. That is also the 9 of Wands reversed. So what was my card story? It is so hard to open your heart. The moment you do, someone comes along and stabs a knife through it. This is it. No matter how much it hurts to do so, I'm not going to let people get close to me anymore. It's up to me to take care of myself, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Nobody can come close to me unless I'm ready. The walls are going up. Sad, but that's how it is. So this is the card story I wrote a long time ago when I was going through each of the cards one by one. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with it here, because I do get that feeling that he's gone through his ups and downs, he's gone through his highs and lows. Now he's like, you know what, I'm going to be careful now. I'm not going to let people take me for a ride or bully me, or you know, like in the 501s, or you know, whatever. I'm just not going to go through it. I'm just going to be super careful next time down. And that's your 901's card story there. So from there, let's go to the very logical, very mind energy of you know, the swords. And ouch, this picture is not pretty. The nine of swords usually looks like this, and it's not a pretty picture. We've got all these nine swords floating through the darkness, and in the bed is a young girl, and she looks really troubled. This card is all about nightmares, anxiety attacks, worries, sleepless nights, being tormented. And from a health point of view, this can often show someone who suffers from headaches or migraines or even neck problems. Now, here's the thing. This, the especially not the head, you know, the health issues, but the other parts, the worries, the tensions, the torments, the sleepless nights, they could be a result of all kinds of anxieties and worries, because this is where the swords are. This is where all the different things are, you know, they're just cutting through her mind space really there, and they're just like, you know, this, she's got too many things on her mind, and she simply cannot find peace. Like, especially at night when we're supposed to sort of rest and wake up refreshed, she can't do that. This is a very hard card to be in. Sleepless nights, not a pretty place. Definitely not. So when this card becomes reverse, you can heave a sigh of relief, because you know, because look at her, she's gonna fall out of that bed. All those swords are also come fall, you know, fall down. So it will be like a sudden thing. Whatever will happen, it won't be like a gradual process, but now she will be dealing with her anxiety, or the worries will end, and she will slowly, he or she will slowly find a way to go back to sleep. You know, the insomnia, the nightmares, all of that will reduce. She will start dealing with the troubles, and of course, health point of view, there will be a reduction in the headaches and migraines and so forth. So in a way, this is a good place for the nine of swords, the reversed position. It's just that whatever will happen, it will be some, maybe like a sudden realization. So that is also something there which, I don't know, it didn't come to me when I was writing the keywords. It's like there will be some kind of sudden breakthrough which will cause this, right? Because the way she falls down from the bed, it's a sudden thing. So you know, it's not a gradual process. So something will, you know, pop up in her head amongst all of those 20,000 thoughts that are floating around. Something will be like, oh yeah, this. And then slowly she will start, you know, she will be like, oh yeah. And then her anxieties will ease out and her worries will end. So that's the nine of swords reversed. So what was the card story? Sorry about that, my phone alarm. All right, the card story. Nobody knows the worries that I carry. Nobody understands the anxieties that torment me. I have nightmares that show me my worst fears coming true, and I'm so very scared. Is there no way that I can stop this from happening? Is there no cure for what troubles me? Now, this could also be a card that shows one of the symptoms of depression. So that is something, again, that struck me as I was just talking, that this card could show someone who is going through depression or anxiety attacks and all of that. So, you know, this is a person who's got so many worries, so many things on her mind or his mind, that, you know, all kinds of fears could also be part of the story. And so he and she doesn't find, you know, a moment's peace really in the Nine of Swords. So from that very clashy, swordy energy, let's go to the cups, the feelings. And here we have such a beautiful picture. This young man sitting on the beach. There's calm waters behind him, and all the nine cups are lined up nicely. And he's sitting there. He looks happy, contemplative, but happy. He doesn't look like a sad person there. And Nine of Cups really is all about contentment, fulfillment, feeling good, feeling happy. So it's a good card. It's a generally, all is well kind of card in the deck. So when the Nine of Cups shows up, you're like, okay, everything will be all right. Don't worry, right? When this card becomes reversed, it's all going to be tumbling down there. Yeah, the contentment becomes discontented. He becomes unfulfilled. He's not feeling so happy. He's not feeling so good. He's unhappy by and large. The Nine of Cups in the reverse talks about someone who hasn't really found that balance or that contentment sort of situation yet. Now, the card story sort of explains this. This is what he's going through. Yeah. Everything is just as it should be. All is well, and I am content. Finally, I see that happiness is not about things and people outside of me, but it springs from within me and spreads to the outside of me. Now that I've gone through all the ups and downs in life to learn this valuable lesson, I will hang on to it for life. So, because of all the different experiences that he's gone through so far in his life, this guy has finally realized that happiness does not come or is not derived from things outside of him, but from inside of him, and then it springs to the outside. So, it spreads that way, it's not the other way around. So, he's finally found that place in his life where he feels at peace, at content. He's just like, oh, this is good, I'm in a good place. So that's the Nine of Cups. So finally, we find how fulfillment sort of manifests in tangible reality in the Nine of Pentacles here. And we see a young lady again standing there wearing a dress with grape motifs on it, and she's got 9 pentacles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the ninth one is in the basket there, right? Again, the basket also has grapes on it, the decoration. Now, the thing with grapes is, grapes are a symbol of prosperity and abundance and luxury, really, because if do you remember, if you've ever seen any of the old movies or whatever, where the heroine is just lying on the couch and she's eating grapes. Now, the thing with grapes is, you don't have to cut them, chop them, peel them, anything. You just directly, you can just eat them. They are therefore very elegant sort of symbol of luxury and a good life. So that's what all those grapes are all about. She's doing well for herself, and she's living a good life. She's got all the pentacles that she wanted, and finally, even her dress, it's all nice, right? So it's a very luxurious and good life that she's leading. So even with her emotional contentment, she has created this good sort of life. So this card talks about financial fulfillment or someone who is financially independent. This card also talks about someone who has found his or her true calling and is being successful in it, right? So, and this is also very importantly a card that talks of long-term financial planning, all right? Because that's how it is. It's like you have to plan everything out, right? That's very, very pentacly in this particular, the energy of this card is that way. So that's, so you not only find the true calling of your life, but you're also successful financially and in any other way, like, emotionally, all of it. So it's like Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles sort of smooshed together. And yeah, so that's your Nine of Pentacles. But when this card becomes reversed, things are not really going so well. It could show a little delay in financial fulfillment. It could show someone who is unable to be fully financially independent. So there's just a little gap. It's not quite there yet, right? You're not finding your footing in your chosen career path. And that's why, the financial success isn't happening. Or you're ignoring the long-term view of your financial scenarios. That's this card, especially when it comes up in the advice position, does often talk about this last point. That, if in your financial planning you have totally ignored the long-term view. So just, take a look at it. So what was the card story? Now that I've found my path and found all kinds of joy and abundance on it, I can finally stand up and face the world and say to them, see, I made it. I pursued my dreams and I worked hard to achieve them, and I have finally made my dream come true. Not only have I found this satisfaction in the here and now, but I'm also confidently planning for the long term as well. So, this is the whole Nine of Pentacles energy. Everything sort of manifests into a tangible reality, not just the feelings and the passions and the thoughts and the contentment, but it's real manifested bliss and fulfillment and satisfaction of the nine energy here in the Pentacles. Right. So, what was your journal entry like? What was your card story like? Go ahead, take a picture, post it on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Use the hashtag Learn This Deck and hashtag Nines. You could also add Minor Arcana, Dreaming with Tarot, and Tarotically Speaking if you like. But the whole point is, especially the Learn This Deck hashtag is important because then we can search each other, find each other, share our wisdom with each other, and together we can learn this deck. So, I will be back again with the tens tomorrow. In the meantime, stay good, be good, and learn this deck. Bye now.